Hello, everybody. Good evening. Let me go ahead. Is this thing? Yep. Okay. Turn it on. Okay. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. Okay. Let's go ahead. This is totally left field, but I needed to get it done. There's some things I needed to get off my chest. It's by myself today. No Jessica. This is something I felt like I needed to do by myself. And I needed to just get it off my chest because I've been carrying it. 2 more days from now will be 10 months. And I've been carrying this weight this entire time. And right now I am mortified with the situation that I'm going through. So we're just going to jump right into it. For those of you that have not seen the first video, Lino Miranda made it, and I will go ahead and put that in the links. Well, it's in my profile. You guys can go in there and get it if you want. In order to get an understanding of what's happening here, you have to watch Error and Abuse Part 1. Okay. So to understand Part 2, which is what I'm doing right now, you have to understand Part 1. I am not well. I'm angry. I had to, for the first time in my life, figure out how I was going to pay rent this month and file tremendous papers and file tremendous things because of the systemic delays by OWCP, the systemic delays by the National Labor Relations Board, to whom I haven't heard anything from at all. And Merit Systems Protections Board made me wait 2 months to ask me to submit things that I've already given them. Okay, fine. I understand the game we're playing here. What I don't understand is, and this is the part, and before I continue with the story and I finish my story on what happened, I'm trying to understand how is it telling the truth, me telling the truth, going public, warning people that these things are happening, cost me my life. These systems are put in place to prevent such a thing. And yet on the back end of it, I'm still facing retaliation. I'm still facing time card manipulation. I'm still facing systemic abuse, violations of my medical rights, violations of my rights as an American federal employee. And I could understand if I did something bad, like, you're wrong, you did this, you did that. Yeah, okay, fine. People don't like to admit it, but I always admit when I'm wrong. I try to. And I've been wrong about a great many things, but this right here, I don't get it. I don't fucking understand it at all. All I know is I'm tired of hearing people tell me I need to calm down. I'm tired of people telling me it's going to be okay when it's not. I'm tired of people telling me, keep your chin up, everything's going to be all right. But then they call me on the back end asking for advice to solve their own problems. Then they run off and they solve their problems and I'm forgotten about again. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the lack of support. I'm tired of the retaliation by these people. How is it local HR doesn't talk to HRSSC? HRSSC has me incapacitated for duty. And, I brought my papers because I'm not lying. So I applied for FMLA. Doctor approved it again, extended it, right? To buy me time to this all blows over. Maybe we can work something out with management. But no, before I could even send it to them, I get a Dear John letter in the mail that they denied my FMLA because I didn't work enough hours. Well, I didn't work enough hours because labor management thought it was cute to deny my FMLA rights and deny my reasonable accommodation without following due process correctly, without taking the initiatory steps, without following up. All these things happen. All these things that are happening now are effects that happened to me 10 months ago or almost 10 months ago now when I first put out, because I think we put it out like 5 months ago. So going back further than when I did Error and Abuse Part 1, this stuff has been happening. And the courts know this. And they know what the agency's doing. But I can't get no answers from no one. I lost my insurance because of the systemic retaliation. I lost my livelihood completely. I'm going to cover this information, but look at when I got that. Okay. That was a request supposed to be express mail from my manager. And look when it got delivered to me. Now, if you won't be able to see it, but at the top, at the very, very top, it has the date of shipment. It's express mail, yeah. Look at the date of shipment. August something, I think it's August 22nd or something like that, right? And look when I physically received it in my mailbox, 10/23/25. But that's not retaliation, right? They know I'm retiring. There's no secret now. Everyone knows I'm retiring. I'm being forced out because of labor management. I'm being forced out because my rights are violated and there's not a fucking thing I can do about it. And these people are just getting away with it. They're just laughing at me. Montana was a lot of things. But this takes the cake. I got a coworker of mine. I don't know if she follows this or not, or if she even bothers with it, but if she's watching, I want her to know that she was right. I should have listened to you 2 winters ago when we were working those parcels and you told me, are you sure you want to go down there? They're the worst in the country. And I says, no, it can't be that bad. Now they're trying to make it look like I just got hired as a manager. Are you fucking kidding me? I transferred here as a supervisor. I transferred here, took a downgrade. I was a level 18 and took a downgrade to 17. That's just a title change. I did the same thing. There's no difference. But because they don't have anything, they want to try to get my case dismissed on a technicality. This is to tell you the abuses we're going through. This right here, you're going to love this. So they were time card manipulating my statements, right? Time card manipulation. They were marking me LWAP when I wasn't LWAP, right? Well, let me see if I can just do that. That way they don't say anything. Look, they sent me a bill for $2,000 to pay my own health insurance when they're the cause of this. Here's another good one. You're going to love this. So I put a meme up the other day, and this is all, we're bleeding into part 2 now. The other day I got a $4.50 in the mail, right? And my jaw hit the floor. I couldn't fucking believe it. So I did say I would bring papers, and I did. So I'm going to read to you what was sent to me on the $4.50. Not everything, because of course there's PII and stuff on there that I don't need issues right now. But yeah, I gotta find it. I'll find it right now. Is it? No, it's not here. Okay. Did I give it to her? No, it might be up there. Let me. Oh, actually, I have it in my phone. That's right. I took a picture of it. I couldn't believe it. So I'm supposed to be this horrible manager, right? Got all these problems and all this stuff they said about me, and I am the worst thing ever, right? I'm the scum of the earth. Yeah. They're angels, and I'm a fucking demon, right? Okay. I've been called worse things in my life, but okay, I'll bite that, no problem. But this shit right here really took the cake. So those of you guys that I don't know if it works like this, if everybody got one, a new Form 50 dated January 10th, 2026, dated this year, a month ago. And it tells me my leave balance, my leave and stuff like that. It says my retirement plan first, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Employment status is leave without pay. They failed to accommodate me from 10 months ago, but I'm being penalized for it now. They actually put me in this non-pay status indefinitely. No one's following the policy, and nobody's doing a fucking thing about it. And I can care less whose feelings get hurt right now. I don't care. All I know is I did the right thing, and I'm the one getting in trouble. What's the point of doing the right thing then? What's the point of speaking up? What's the point of telling the truth? If I'm going to be abused like this, what happened to all the protections I was promised if I told the truth and told the right thing and did the right thing? There's no reward for it. So why the fuck would anybody say anything now? You guys heard Kim's story, you know, and it's tragic. But that's not even the worst part of this. It gets better. So it shows my station, West Carrier Annex. We know that already. Special exempt. I knew that already. Manager customer service. I'm still here as a manager customer service. Okay. Full-time. Says full-time. Allowance code ineligible position. Okay. Salary information. EAS. Annual rate. 19. And then you look at the base salary. Now, I'm not going to say how much I make because that's none of nobody's business. But I will tell you this. How the fuck I get a 4,000 and change raise for sitting at home? Explain that to me. If I am the worst fucking manager on this planet, why would the agency give me a step increase of 4,000 and change then? Sitting at home. Does that make any sense? No. You have these jerk-offs in Miami telling lies and saying whatever it is they're saying on paper. They're committing fraud on paper still. I'm pretty sure they're still scanning packages till they turn purple. People want to talk about this now when I've been blowing the whistle about this for almost 10 months. Some people longer than I. And now people want to jump on the bandwagon. You see all the lawyer stuff now on Facebook. Like, yeah, the post office will owe you some money. Really? When I contacted you, you guys said you weren't interested in the case. You didn't want it. Now you want to get people to come to you and give you business when the time to get business was months ago. This was 800 pages right here. Look, that's all paperwork in there. I got more paperwork on the side. HR has me incapacitated for duty. I received a letter in the mail telling me I'm in the Leave Share program. And again, I'm going to say this live again. If you're donating leave, the agency is not giving it to me. So if you donated leave, thank you. I appreciate you. But the agency hasn't given me not 1 hour of that, if there's anything there. They're supposed to tell me according to the policy. And this is what I'm talking about. We work for an agency that has 1,000,000,001 policies to cover every single thing in the world that an employee could think of for any type of inaction, any type of occurrence, any type of situation. And yet, we can't get these motherfuckers in headquarters to see what the hell these assheads are doing in Miami and put a stop to the niche right now. No, right? We can't hold them accountable, right? Is that what you're saying? We're too busy to hold corrupt officials accountable. Maybe you guys are all in bed together. Just my opinion. It's not a fact. Listen, if you guys read the posts on Facebook, I'm sure you do, it's not looking well for you. You guys are bleeding money. This is why you're bleeding money. You guys need to stop this. I got a $4,000 raise for sitting at home. So the agency headquarters found me, what's the word? I'm qualified enough to give me a raise on my Form 50, right? Of $4,000 and change. Got a $4,000 raise just sitting here. But Miami's telling everybody and writing all this weird shit on paper and nothing. Nothing. You guys can lie on paper all you want. I almost feel sorry for you. Because sooner or later, karma's a bitch. And when the devil comes, he collects. Dad always told me that. Lucifer will come and collect. He will collect what's his. And you guys, at the rate you're going, yeah, you may screw me in this life, but not the next one. Who knows? Maybe I'll be rich in my afterlife. Whatever. I had only one person in Congress reach me, the senator. My senator reached out to me and told me she was going to investigate this. And I'm happy she reached out to me. Senator Moody, thank you so much for contacting me and trying to address the EEOC part of this drama, because the government shut down and they closed my case without even contacting me. How is that fair? You closed for 45 days and then you closed my case instead of contacting me. Wow. It's no wonder the system's messed up. It's no wonder things are happening the way they're happening. At this point, it's not even about views anymore for me. It's about justice, about getting the truth out. Let there be no mistake. I have worked more times as a supervisor than most supervisors in Miami. Most of them worked in 1 or 2 stations. I've worked in many. I was the guy that got calls at 6 o'clock at night to go cover a post office because the postmaster quit, and did it because I knew it was important. I left my family for 4 months to bust my ass to become an EAS, and then I got my first swing at it. Then went back again 6 months later to that same office they didn't give me. I already had a life in Billings. There was no sense moving to Shoto. I just moved 6 months ago to Billings. I couldn't go to Shoto. I loved the town though. Town was great. I love Shoto. Food there was damn good too, man. They had this little cafe there in the town. Small town with like 2,000 people. It wasn't a lot, but it's the point. I felt at home, but I couldn't stay there. I had my wife was in Billings, 6 hours away from me. My kid was in pre-K at the time. I moved to Florida to have a better life. And today, I thought I was going to get evicted from my house because the Postal Service has been manipulating my pay, manipulating statuses, and the courts are taking their fucking time instead of doing what they need to do. Just delaying and delaying and delaying. More delay and more delay and more delay. What do you do when you go for help and there's no help there? I never said I couldn't work. I could. The Postal Service refused to accommodate me. You know what it was? They didn't want to pay me that postal EAS money to answer phones. That's what it was. So they tried to trick me into taking a downgrade back to clerk. We all know what happens if I would have did that. I've been EAS too long. I would have lost everything. That's the best you could do after putting me through this misery? You brought me from a stable team to Florida with the promise of elevation, with the promise of job growth, job potential, okay? The chance to do the right thing. And you guys ruined my life. I don't give a shit how anyone feels. If you don't like it, you guys got an off button. Turn it off. But it's not going to stop me from saying what I have to say. I've gotten calls from old coworkers I used to know getting butthurt because I'm doing this. I can give 2 fucks, honestly. Because my kid in the room almost lost his house today. While y'all chilling at home. Yeah, this was my decision. Y'all didn't tell me to move to Florida, and I know that. But for the sake of the working relationship we had, you should say something. You should have my back, is what I'm saying. It's ironic that over the years, I've helped everyone I can help. And I've taken more shots to the back by my own friends than anybody. My own best friend had an affair with my ex-wife. I've taken more knife shots to the back than anyone. And I'm still here. Lino and I left off in error and abuse. More to the story. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the extra stuff that I was talking about before. I didn't want to script this out. I just needed to just. Okay. So now we're in full whistleblower mode. Okay, now because the cases are in litigation, I can't use names. So I won't use names, but those people that know me will know who these individuals are. Okay. So after Spence did what he did to me several months back, before I got promoted to station manager, and let me tell you, I actually liked BV. I wanted to stay in BV. I really didn't want to become a station manager. The only reason why I even put in for it was because Spence was doing stuff he wasn't supposed to do, and I didn't want to lose my job over that. I didn't want to be in this situation that I'm in right now. I didn't want to get blamed for something I did not do. So the idea was, okay, Spence is not really a bad guy. He's just making dumb mistakes. I try to talk to him. He's not listening. We're bumping heads now. I don't want to argue with the man. I just want to leave. That's when I put in for the station manager position in Miami West Carrier. My partner at the time told me, oh, come over here, come over here. You're going to love it here. You're going to love it here with me. And she sold me this pipe dream. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Whoever knows me knows who I'm talking about. There's only one other station manager there that worked with me. So I don't need to mention names. It's no secret. Everyone knows this. Okay? Come over here. Spence don't appreciate you. I'll take care of you. I'll train you. And then you train me in the stuff you know. And I'm thinking, shit, man, this is an opportunity. All right. Yeah, I didn't want to leave. I didn't want more responsibility because I had no interest in climbing the corporate ladder. I didn't give a shit about that. I just wanted to do my job and go home. I said this months ago, and I'm saying it again. My answer is not going to change because people get angry at me. It's going to be the same answer. So after Spence manipulated my tax time and Shanoma was helping him, Shanoma Bryant was helping him, okay? After the EEOs were closed out and I said, okay, look, I got promoted. Let's let bygones be bygones. For the next several weeks, after I had the interview, Spence was not happy with me. He was nitpicking on little things that I was doing, trying to blame me for things I wasn't doing. Almost as if he was trying to find a reason to void my probation and void me from leaving. They always tell you no, they can't stop you from leaving. But if they put a corrective action in your Form 50, HR can stop you. So technically, the manager, the MCSO is right. He can't stop me, but HRSSC can. And I knew this from, again, I was a postmaster. So, and I transferred here as a supervisor. The game that they're trying to play right now that I wasn't a supervisor for a year. Yeah, nice try, motherfuckers. That doesn't work that way. And you know it doesn't work that way. But you get a B for nothing, for doing shit. Actually, it's more like a C. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, we're moving forward, right? Things are progressing. My last day in BV, I say, you know what? I don't want to argue with this dude. I just want to just go and do my last day with the clerks, check on the finance unit, get it squared away. Tell them, I cleaned the whole thing out too. That shit was a pigsty. I organized it. I cleaned it. I structured it. I made it easy. They could actually breathe in that building. I threw out all the garbage that was there because they didn't have a maintenance worker forever. I did all that stuff because I just wanted to leave with a clean slate. I was mad at Spence, but I don't hate the guy. I just dislike what he was doing. You're picking on me because I want to leave. Well, maybe if you stop acting like a dick, I wouldn't have wanted to leave. I would have stayed with you. Because again, I had no interest in upward mobility. None. I was making enough money to take care of my wife and my family. And that was my concern. Just taking care of my family. It was not upward mobility. I'm not trying to become postmaster general. I wasn't trying to do none of that shit. I just wanted to go to work and go home. That's it. My dad raised me that way, and that's what I was trying to do. So after Spence found out I got the job, he found out before me. Of course, because, they always have to tell you, your manager, the hiring manager has to tell your current manager, we're taking this individual from you. He starts nitpicking about my work and C360 cases and just acting like a fucking child. Meanwhile, I still didn't get paid. Still owed me time. Okay. The 19 hours and change, that didn't come until later. I got it much later. But we'll get to that. So he started popping up just random, just popping up random. Before he used to call me, say, hey, I'm coming to the finance unit. Everything good there? Yeah, everything's good. You can just pop in. But as the time for me to drew closer for me to leave, we started bumping heads more. He just started popping up like I was some girlfriend of his where he could just surprise see me. If you don't think I'm doing a good job, send me back to the station because I should be in the station anyway. You should have a 204B watching the finance unit if that's the case. Okay, no problem. So my last day there, I had another partner. She showed up with him. She says, hey, listen, I'm gonna come and do the count out with you. And then hopefully we'll finish early. And if not, would you drop me off on the train? And I said, of course, I'll take you to the train, no problem. Because she and I, we were cool. We were both clerks. She was further. She was from the East Coast. I was from the Northwest, and we were both clerks and both supervisors. Both had almost a common career. I won't mention her name because she didn't do nothing to me. And then after that, Spence, he starts acting shady as soon as he walked in the building. I get pissed. I never take lunch. I told the clerks that day, I'm going to lunch. And I went to lunch. And I didn't care. I went to lunch. Because it was my last day and I was going to lunch. So I left to lunch. He was pissed off when I got back. I guess he expected me to stay there. I'm not going to give you no more than what you deserve. You didn't appreciate everything I did for you when I was there. Now you're nitpicking. If you would stop doing the weird shit and you would have just paid me, I would have stayed with you. I tried to work this out with this man so many times. It's incredible. And again, he wasn't a bad guy. He just did dumb shit. And this is the problem. And no one held him accountable to that. Here's something that did happen, though, that really pissed me off. So apparently he got in trouble with the postmaster. Postmaster walked him out the building, same thing, put him on LWAP, sent him home 3 days. Administrative pay, though. He paid him for 3 days. So the guy fucked up because of the finance unit, stuff that I was telling him to let me fix months ago. It didn't happen. Of course, it didn't happen. He got in trouble. The postmaster walked him out the fucking building. He goes home for 3 days with pay, administrative leave. Now, when they set me up, because there's no other way to say it, that's what it was. Because again, if I didn't do it and you're blaming me for it, what does that mean? Okay. So I got walked out the building, not really out the building. My manager of ops walked me to the door. He didn't even walk me to my car. Again, another violation of postal policy. Now, he never got in trouble for that either. But that's neither here nor there. But then I got sent home for 35 days with no pay. Not admin leave, no pay. And then when I filed the EEO on the postmaster, that's when they rushed in to do all these time card manipulation changes so they can rush and give you the money and make it look like it was an account error. An account error almost 2 months long? No way. No fucking way. Come on, man. Anybody can see that shit. Anyone with a connected brainstem can see that, And I said to myself, okay. They get, my manager of ops, he put back he put back 2 weeks. They didn't pay me 2 weeks, They changed 2 weeks to admin leave. The other 2 weeks, he refused to change it because he says, well, you called out sick or whatever, and I'm not changing. I looked at him and I didn't argue with him. I said, well, we're going to have this discussion because you guys forced me to call out sick. because you wouldn't handle the situation correctly. Technically, it all should have been administrative leave. So if the postmaster wanted to send me home 35 days, that should have been 35 days with pay. I had no help from the association, no help from NAPS, no help from UPMA, no help from no fucking body, just me by myself and my wits about me and reading things and learning things and learning about policy. This was before Postal Truth. This was before anything. This was just Angel experiencing misery in Florida and wishing every day I just stayed in fucking Montana with its sub-zero fucking temperature. At least I had a job and I was doing well there. I was actually moving up in the right direction, not moving down and out the door into early disability retirement. So, long story short, we're progressing. We're everything's transitioning. I get to West Carrier. I meet my partner there. Have a meeting with the MCSO, and he tells me, this is the guy that brought me here from Montana, by the way. Yeah. He accepted me as a supervisor, as an EAS, because I was already an EAS when I came to Florida. I was 13 months alone as a postmaster. My MPU didn't want to let me go. That's how good of a worker I was. She did not want to she tried to like, hey, you sure you want to go? You want to stay here? I mean, I really don't want to lose you, but, I understand. You want to just, you're thinking about your family. All right, fine. But I don't want to let you go. And I came here because that man, that MCSO promised me he'd take care of me. Okay. More abuse, but we'll get to that. So after, the whole shebanga, hoopla, let me see, no comments. Okay. It's Tuesday. I'm just doing this because I need to get it off my chest, and you guys can watch it whenever you want. It's no big deal. Anyway, so after I get to West Carrier, that's when the nightmare really starts. So mind you, I get away from Buena Vista and Flagler because I don't want to deal with the nonsense anymore. I just want to go to work and go home. So now I have to take a promotion 2 levels higher just to get away from Spence because he's doing weird shit in the office with his 2 supervisors and not depositing money that was left in his drawer from the damn CODs. But, what do I know? It's not my business. Okay? And no one reporting marijuana in the building, in the postal building. Nobody doing anything they're supposed to do except Angel. Angel was just reporting stuff. Me, trying to do the right thing. Okay? But anyway, I get out of Buena Vista, Flagler, and I get to West Carrier. I meet my partner. I have a meeting with the MCSO and my partner. My partner goes onto the workroom floor. We were in my office. Okay? And then my boss, my MCSO, he's my direct supervisor. We walk out of my office together. He tells me, this shit you got with Spence, you got to let it go. That was the EEO. You have to drop it because if you don't drop it, they're going to blackball you and you'll never get fucking promoted again. At that moment, I realized, wow, I just set myself up for tragedy. All right, boss, I will leave it alone. So I withdrew the EEO. I told my manager, says, hey, listen, I'll make sure you get paid whatever he owes you. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Me and you will take care of it. I'll deal with Spence. And I'm thinking, this is the man that brought me from Montana to Florida. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's going to take care of me. He's going to help me. Boy, was I fucking wrong. In fact, he stuck a knife in my back too. So did my partner. The postmaster already knew he was a dick. So whatever, I didn't care. All right, you don't want to talk to me? I don't care. You're not hurting my feelings, but don't call me and tell me you need anything if you're going to treat me like dirt just because you're my boss doesn't give you the right to treat me that way. And on weekends, I don't work. That's not in my contract in my Form 50 to say I have to work weekends and I'm on call 24/7. I get 2 days off except for when I'm working a rotation. Other than that, call the janitor. I don't care, but just don't call me. But anyway, I dropped the complaint. 1 month goes by, 2 months go by, and I'm like, this man said he was going to take care of me. And I'm already thinking shit. I'm like, we're having our stand-ups. We're failing every day. And we're failing because they're having the supervisors and clerks and everybody fucking scanning packages in the office from 5 in the morning when the morning EAS gets there all the way till before I even go home at 6:30 at night. They're scanning fucking packages in that building. This is your customer money. These are your packages that you entrusted to the organization, and the organization is essentially committing fraud in Miami by scanning your items delivered to an agent when they don't even leave the fucking building. I mentioned it to my boss man, and I says, listen, man, there's got to be another way we can do this. Well, if you come up with another system, let me know. Do I have permission to try some stuff? Yeah, go ahead. He knew it was a lost cause, but he indulged me. He let me try it out, and I tried some stuff. But mind you, when I got the position, I told him, I've never worked in a station that does this type of operation. Being a manager of customer service in West Carrier is not the same as being a station manager in a post office, where you just have the postal facility and no distribution, no mass distribution. But the postal service puts it together like it's the same. It's not the same position. That type of manager is actually more of a plant manager than a manager of customer service, because you're managing all the international mail coming in overseas. All the ports are right there in Miami where I was at, and everything's coming in through that station, through those lines, through those SPIBs, through those DBSs, through those ASWs, through every fucking thing. They're coming in through that office, that building. And then you have 2 postal annexes and a whole plant operation together. Yeah, they didn't think that one through. So, long story short, that position that I took, that I didn't really want to begin with, was more of a plant manager's position. He wasn't getting plant manager salary though. And then every day we were getting yelled at by the postmaster, just yelling at people on telecons. That's when I started getting sick. The stress started eating at me. Anger, I started getting very short-tempered. I come home and I argue with my wife over the stupidest shit. I was so angry. I couldn't believe that this was happening, Like, what did I do to deserve this when I just did the right thing? And I figured, oh, maybe if I work a little harder, it'll fix itself, and maybe I can salvage this. And I'm still trying at this point. I'm still trying. Then it got to the point where I started having heart pains, man. Real bad chest pains, like in my heart. Like I felt like I was gonna get a stroke or a heart attack. That's how bad it was. And I get them every now and then, but we'll get to that. So I make an appointment to go to the doctor. I tell my boss, listen, I need to see my doctor. I haven't checked myself out. I've been having some issues. I wanna get checked out. That's my right to see a doctor if I'm sick. I had almost 300 hours of sick leave. That's how much I worked. And I don't need to prove myself to anyone. Yeah, there are going to be people that see this and be like, yeah, he's lying. He's lying. Listen, man, I don't have nothing to prove to nobody. I got the papers. I know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to focus on that. So then after that situation happened, right? And dropped the EEO. I'm getting chest pains now. I'm not feeling good. Feeling like Stevie Wonder. I'm all fucked up. Go to the doctor. He finally gives me the time off. I go, all right, fill out a 3971. All right, go see the doctor. Fine. I try to do everything scheduled because I didn't believe in unscheduled leave. Go to the doctor. Doctor tells me, Angel, you need to cut back on your stress, and if you don't do it now, it's going to affect you later. Okay. So I know how the agency rolls. I've seen it in real time. So I say, all right, I'm going to fill out FMLA. First time I fill out FMLA in the post office ever was in 2025. First time ever. I worked for the post office about 7 years, circa. 4 years as a manager, 3 years as a manager, EAS. And about 3 years, it's close to 3 years, about 2.5, 3 years, circa, around there. But I never filled out FMLA. I never took any type of administrative leave. I never had anything on my personnel action files. I didn't have anything on my OPM. OPM was clean. You looked at my record, there was nothing there. Then I moved here. And they knew they couldn't get me any other way because I knew the policy. So they started fucking with my record. I apply for jobs. I just get a Dear John letter, no reason. Normally they give you a reason. I wasn't getting any reasons. I wasn't getting any calls. And it occurred to me, these guys were spooling my interviews. They were fucking with me. And then the real situation happened before this stuff happened and I went out on medical leave, which they're still marking me as LWAP for, even though it's fucking certified medical leave. But before that, right, I had a job interview. Sanford Post Office here in Florida. Little ways up north. It's Central Florida. Smaller office, rural setting. It's what I'm used to. So I have an interview with the postmaster. He's, interviewing me and whatnot. And I kind of get the vibe off of him. Like he's just doing this because he has to. Mind you, I was already a postmaster. I had his fucking job. But okay, no problem. And he kept it very protocol up to when he finished the interview. That's when I knew. Hold that thought. We get to the interview, and this man tells me, you know, he takes my papers. I want to wish you well in your endeavors, and thank you for applying for the position. And, I pray that you find upward mobility and all this stuff. He's already telling me I didn't get the job. As soon as he was done, hearing himself talk for about 20, 30 minutes. And we have this record and we have this. And the dude, he looked like Stevie Wonder. We got this and we got that. And we're number one here. We're number one there. Blowing smoke up his ass. And my clerks does this and my supervisors do that. And I'm watching this man. And I'm saying to myself, man, I've done more shit than you probably. Okay. That's when I knew they were tampering with my opportunities. They were tampering. They were calling these people, telling these people not to hire me, and forcing me to stay in Miami. When I try to get myself out of that position to go to a smaller office, one that I can manage because of my medical conditions, they're getting worse. And I don't want to fucking catch a heart attack and die at 43 years old. So I try to remove myself from the situation. And the agency's response for that was retaliation. And to this day, we'll never get the truth out of them. Here's the thing. But I know how this works. I already know how this works. The postmaster called them. The MCSO called them. MCSO of West called them. Somebody called them. Or maybe he heard through the grapevine that, I knew certain things and, he wanted to not deal with the problems of FMLA and whatnot. So they made like little side deals. You know how that shit is in these corporations. Again, I don't have proof because we'll never know the truth. They'll never tell the truth. Even if we had a physical letter, they won't tell the truth. They'll hide it. Why? Because it's illegal what they're doing. And they know it. It's fucking illegal. So I'm getting denied opportunities. I'm trying to get reasonable accommodation. I'm trying to still work. I wanted to work. And they kept blocking my opportunities. And I could not leave Miami. Again, we won't know this because it's not being said anywhere. But okay, fine. So he turned around, and we're gonna backpedal a little bit because this happened. Well, my son's in first grade now. Happened when he was in kindergarten, right? So he was like mid-year. And I put in for the position in Sanford, and I got a phone call from the MCSO at 7:30 in the morning. He never calls me that early to tell me, I see you apply for a position in Sanford. Yeah, I did, like I said, my kid is going to be graduating kindergarten, and I want to get back to doing the small stuff. I appreciate everything you did for me, but when I first came down here, you told me when I'm ready to leave, let you know. Well, I'm ready to leave. I think it's time I go. I don't know if he took that to offense. I'll never know to this day, but I will say this. As a man, you tell someone, especially another man, that the moment he feels like leaving, let him know, and you'll help him transfer. You'll help find him a home, because that's what he told me. I didn't get no help from him at all. In fact, the evidence proves the contrary. But again, we can't legally say it was him because we don't know. And again, we will never know, because these are the dark little corners of the agency that no one talks about. So right now it's just opinion. It's not fact because I have no evidence, and that's fine. Yeah. After going through the rehabilitation process, seeking reasonable accommodation, trying to do the right thing, they stalled this shit for months. They stalled it for months. The OHS nurse calls me, says I don't qualify. Then 2 months later, I get a letter in the mail. Oh, we decided to hear reasonable requests, and we're gonna have the meeting. And I'm like, okay, so I you need to call this number at this time, and to which I follow directions. People that have worked with me know, you tell me to do something, I do it. That went from, oh, you need to wait for him to call you. That's not what the letter says. The letter says, I call you. They had their shit half-assed backwards. They didn't know. None of them knew what they were doing. They didn't know how to handle this at all. They didn't know how to address the situation as professionals. They tried to shortchange me and screw me on the back end, I guess because I was an inconvenience to them. Well, if they would have fucking just let me leave when I wanted to, I would still be working right now and not going into retirement at 43. That's a fact. It's not Angel making stuff up. It's not hearsay. It's fact. I have the papers. I tried to get out before we got here because I knew this was going to happen. And this is what I mean. The Postal Service does everything backwards and not frontward. So when they lose $1 billion, oh, but we lost. We had a net revenue decline, a loss. Of course, you guys are having losses because you're doing everything backwards, not forward. You need to start at the beginning and break down each section. Firing, laying off people, rifting them, that doesn't fix the problem long term. It patches the problem for a little while. And then if you don't fix it, you have it again. This is what I'm talking about. So now, as we're moving into more evidence of error and abuse, part 2 now, we understand now that they did not follow protocol. They did not listen to the warning signs. They did not look at the papers. They did not say, we're going to help you, Angel. We're going to get you out of here. We're going to try to help you. The best that they offered me was a forced downgrade back to window clerk, throwing parcels. I would have lost $45,000 a year, okay? And I would have had to start all over again and lose all my seniority, all my medical coverage and everything. I would have lost everything. That was the best the agency offered me. Oh, and to send me back to Montana, but they didn't say they were going to pay for it, though. They did this to me, but they want me to pay to move back? The motherfucker had me come here because he promised me upward mobility and to help me grow. I listened to that man when I spoke to him on the phone and I put in that paperwork. That MCSO promised me shit and didn't deliver. And then you want to just shuffle me back to fucking Montana after you fucking cost me my postmaster office and everything? A title that took me 6 years of hard labor to work for? Working all crazy hours, not seeing my fucking family? What, so you can go back into your little office and play cuddle buddy with the postmaster? Really? Dude, where's your respect? Where's your dignity as a man? What are you doing? I trusted you. I trusted you with my family. You knew what I wanted to do. Hell, you wanted me to take over your operation. Why would I do any such thing? I see the way you guys treat your fucking workers here. Why would I even do such a thing? Why do you think I want it out for? Dude, I had so much respect for you. Why would you do that to yourself? Why? To protect him? The guy that's actually causing all of this? You're protecting him? What are you doing? That's insane. And you know it's insane. And I know you lay your head in bed at night and wonder, why the fuck didn't I just report him? You should have reported him. And you know what? Maybe there's still hope for you. Maybe if you report him now, yeah, you'll wind up like me for a little while, but you're on the way out anyway. Do the right thing, dude. You know who you are. MCSO, do the right thing. Because you know what happens if you don't. We're keeping to official titles because that's a title. That's a generic title. And we don't mention names here. But these are individuals with authority and power. I'm going to open my email. And I'm going to read to you some emails that I have. And the reason why I'm going to read them to you is because it proves systemic abuses. Now, okay. I apologize. Give me a second. I'm doing one-man show today. My wife is taking care of my son, and she's letting me vent because right now I had a hard day, and I felt there was time to tell the story, the rest of the story. Okay. Okay. So this here is very important. Okay. And I'm the type of individual that saves everything. Now, I want the record to state that when I came to Florida from Montana, I was an EAS level 18 for 13 months. I was a level 18 postmaster in Winnett, Montana. It was a small office, I'm not gonna lie. I did manage one clerk and not really, sort of, kind of managed the HCR drivers, but not really because they're contracted and they kind of know what to do. But there was times I had to, work with them directly. But before that, I was a station supervisor in 2 stations in Billings. The first station was Ronald Reagan Station. They had 12 city carriers and 6 rural routes. So they had the 6 rural routes and an auxiliary route. I also worked in Centennial Station, which was 21 city routes. Okay. So I was an EAS for a long time. The agency is playing this tug of war game that I wasn't a supervisor for a year. Changing from one district to another doesn't remove what you already have. And if you think I don't realize that game you guys are playing, you're high, really high. But we'll let the judge deal with that. Your time is coming. So here is an email. E-Career Local Interim EAS Selection Document, reposition 117585 582, EAS level 17, facility Miami, Buena Vista Carrier Annex, position number 117588582, requisition number NB 118397818. Selected employee is Angel Guerra, current title postmaster, current level 18, current office, Winnett, Montana. Salary increase 0. They didn't give me a raise to come to Miami. I didn't make anything extra. I just took the downgrade. I was already a supervisor, took the downgrade, and didn't get a raise. Okay. Selecting official was one of the MCSOs. I won't say his name. And this was signed July 8th of 2024. Next higher level concurrence was my MCSO. He signs it the same day. Gaining installation head's approval was the postmaster. Okay. And of course, he signed it the same day. Losing installation head was my MCSO. She was my MPU. She signed it and dated it the 11th. Okay. The human resources manager here in Miami signed it, and the district manager signed off on this on 7/11/24. Now, all of that, and it says that on there, no relocation costs approved. So all of that there proves I was qualified before coming into the position. So much so that I didn't even compete for the position. I sent an email requesting a lateral transfer. Now, this is the letter to my MCSO, dated Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024 at 10:53 a.m. Subject was downgrade request, EAS 17, Buena Vista, Maine, Downtown Station, Florida. Florida District 3. Good morning, my name is Angel Guerra. I'm a postmaster of Winnett, Montana. I'm an EAS 18, now requesting a downgrade into the EAS 17 SCS position at Buena Vista, Florida, Maine, Downtown Station as a closer. Thank you kindly for your time. Yours truly. Office hours and everything attached in the email. But yet these assheads are telling the judge, oh, he wasn't an EAS for 1 year. He didn't have the same position for 1 year. Florida District 3 posting. Got the job information here. My days off, how it was going to be. I had split days, knowledge of grievances and all this other stuff. And no different than what I was doing in Montana. There's no difference. It's the same job. Okay. Now, keep in mind, everybody approved this transfer. So if I was this worst, terrible fucking manager, my employee OPM file will be tore up. It'd be fucked up right now. But it's not. And it's not because it's a lie. The only regulatory actions committed against me have been in Miami. I've never had any disciplines in Florida, in Montana. Only here in Florida. I've never had to take FMLA leave at all until I got here to Florida. I was not on medicine in Montana until I got to Florida. More to the point, the manager, my MCSO, knew I was having health issues because there were days I confirmed with him that I have in writing, that I confirmed with him that I'm going to see the EAP clinician. The agency provides the EAP clinicians. This wasn't outsourced. This was internal. I went to an internal EAP clinician through the Postal Service. And now they want to act like they didn't know nothing. I never told them nothing. I don't know nothing. Interesting. Give me 1 second.